Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain world? All those badass Yetis out there hanging out,
Yeah.
living it up. You know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know that thing. You know who we're talking about.
I know the thing.
XRP truth bomb, Chip. There was a massive XRP truth bomb. Coingecko apparently getting it wrong again. And Maxine Waters was exposed by the Treasury secretary. What?
5%.
Is that for real?
That's for real, man. Shut her up.
Man,
As the
we lost
fool she is, fool.
sound.
She's a fool. We lost
Yeah.
sound?
I don't know. At least Ice Wine thinks we did. Maybe Ice
Oh, yeah,
Wine.
he's got technical difficulties. You got to turn the volume up. We have sound. There's no problem with sound, guys. We hear
Is that
you.
little button on the side?
You hear. You really don't have one Yeti. Cheers. There
Right.
we go. We're ready
Ready to
to
kick this thing off?
I think so. As soon as I find the right button, I'm going to kick it off, dude. As soon
We have
as
a button.
I'm going to
We
go
have
with
a
this
button
one.
somewhere. Do we have a
Well,
button?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Drop coming in from Cookie Monster Rock. Hey, they cookers.
Just have one question for you, Chip.
Risky? Is it risky? Is it risky? Is it?
It might be. It
How you
might
get
be
over it?
risky.
How you get over it?
Margaritas. Margaritas. I love the margaritas. I love the margaritas. Margaritas.
Yeah.
The margarita. Who doesn't love margaritas?
Who was the big winner of the last show? Ice Wine. That's who.
That's who won.
Ice Wine was the big winner of the last show.
That's who it was. That's exactly who it was. Let's start off a little bit of ripply dipply news here. Let's go with Jazz Takar. He's talking a little bit about custody. Let's look at this. A very short clip that we found there hanging out on X.
Parts
Hanging out over there.
all hacks, right? Or most hacks. One is the technology piece. And so even with the strongest multi-sig custody schemes, if a human is compromised, you're cracking open the doors to hacks. And that's what happened with the Bybit hack and most others. So, and our customers come to us for advice about what is it that we need to secure our assets. So not only do we talk about custody and the technology, HSMs and the policy and the governance engines that we have built, but we also speak a lot more holistically about security in general and making sure that their staff is aware and trained against social engineering, phishing attacks, make sure that value is spread across wallets, spread across different technologies, and spread across different deployment models from on-prem to in the cloud. And again, all technologies and solutions that we provide with Ripple Custody.
Full custody.
There it is right there, Jazz Takar. So yeah, that's a lot of what
First.
when you think about the custody piece, but it's something he talked about is like once the humans are compromised. Then he kind of made the delineation between on-premises and cloud. Well, most things are stored in cloud, but you may want on-prem for, let's say, for kind of a custody solution. But again, that's always risky too. I mean, if you have something happens to that computer, right? That's certainly. I always wonder, like, what is it like for these large custodial places that like Ripple has? Like, how does that work? Like, it's so, I mean, we worry about our own custody, but imagine if you're holding billions of dollars in Bitcoin for institutional stuff. Like it's got to be multi-sig for people to move it. What goes into moving something like that? You can't afford an error. An error is catastrophic. And when you move $900 million in Bitcoin or XRP or $5 billion, there's a lot. I mean, what are they scanning QR codes? Bloop, with their wallet. It's mind-boggling to think at how crazy that could be. Look at that crypto wealth. He never misses. Super late over there in Belgium.
And yes, Ice Wine actually did get it.
We did get a Yeti. We worked through it. We got him the Yeti. Yeah, it worked out. There were some tech issues where it wasn't coming through on our end, but he was saying he was here, and that was part of the issue. Then all of a sudden, it just started popping. I'm here, but I think part of it was because he was on X, and X is kind of awkward. Yeah, well, that's the new What's the other firm that they used to shill?
Oh,
The one that just went under because they
I don't know.
the one that
What
the
was it called?
pre-IPO
I already
share,
forgot about it.
the
I already
pre-IPO
forgot about
share.
what that one
Those
was.
shows about it, Jeff.
Nobody remembers. Nobody remembers
We
Link to.
remember Link to. Caleb Brown is the new Link to. That's because
Oh,
DA
that thing.
also.
Super late in the UK too. Oh my god.
Yeah, Colin,
Belgium
nice.
and UK. Look at
Yeah,
that.
you guys are both on Central European summertime, I believe, right? I think you guys are. I believe that's right. So yeah, you guys are 5 hours.
Have you ever checked? I actually haven't been on Caleb and Brown, so I can't really say too much about it.
I look at Caleb and Brown. They look legit. But they get paid to show up. I mean, that's the thing. They're sponsors, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the company itself. They seem to be helping people through, questions and stuff. Like if they've got questions, you can talk to somebody, and sometimes you need that little extra assistance, right?
It's based out of Australia. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at them, and I don't have any. Like, I didn't seem like they were bad or anything. It's just that's the new Link to for them, so they don't, instead of Link to paying them, and I think they pay a pretty good. I think they get a pretty good clip for that. I don't know what they get
paid as an affiliate. I'll tell you right now.
There you go.
Content creator. You can earn a ton of money.
Great. Let's start shilling them.
We should. Let's shill.
This is one of the few people we actually make our own stuff. So we have our own coffee. We have our own, NFTs. So we actually we basically shill our own products, right? We shill stuff we believe in, stuff that we built, stuff that we made.
Cage.
I mean, having a sponsor, good for them, man. I mean, it's like you can get a sponsor and a good organization. It helps people. Great. I don't know that much about them, but when I checked them out, they look to be somebody that that can help people through, especially on the newbie side. I necessarily have an opinion about them, but I haven't heard anything bad about it. I mean, if you guys have, I didn't hear anything wrong or bad. I mean, I see them as a bad company.
4.9 stars on Trustpilot, 5 stars across the board.
Let me tell you the dirty secret of Trustpilot, okay? About to expose the dirty secret on Trustpilot. Why? Because I worked at a company that purchased Trustpilot. So you pay them a lot of money every month, and if there's something bad that goes wrong, you have a certain period of time that you can respond to it, and they can take the bad ones down. That's why Trustpilot scores, you're never going to see a 2.5 Trustpilot score. You're never going to see a Trustpilot score. You're not even going to see a 3.5 Trustpilot score. 3.75, 4, 4.5, 4.9. That's a paid endorsement. It's a paid channel. I know because I've worked with these guys before in the past at other organizations. So again, they let you, it's not like Google stuff, but to the defense, a lot of times people come in, like a bull in a china shop, start breaking stuff, angry all of a sudden. And a lot of times it's their fault. So you need something like Trustpilot to make it right. Now, Trustpilot will make sure that you make it right. Like they'll ensure that, okay, we'll take this down because someone came in. Did the product deliver? Yeah, it did this. Yeah, but I didn't like this about it. Okay, but everything else, like they'll complain about one little thing. They'll give you a low star rating. And a lot of times it's just not fair. So that's why you have something like a Trustpilot. Trustpilot's there so that you can mitigate stuff, make stuff right, and not have somebody that just was super angry, but you delivered 90% of it, and yeah, something went wrong, but you fixed it. That's what's good about Trustpilot is they'll be able to either mitigate that, you can bury those, or you can, people can come back in and fix the reviews. So that's a lot of times where Trustpilot comes in, and it's a necessary evil because the people can get pretty belligerent and start complaining about stuff. And I've seen it firsthand where, yeah, I was a software user for 2.5 years, but this one thing happened. I wish I could give you less than a 1 star. It's just not, it's not realistic. So
overall, this is interesting. You look at the way they pay out. So they have an affiliate partnership. So it's an affiliate, and they're not really necessarily shilling it. They're not a sponsor anyway like that, unless they are a direct sponsor, but they have an affiliate partnership. And it says here, their top 10% of their earners or their partners, their top 10% of their partners earned on average $121,000 in 2024. They're getting paid on new referral commissions and existing referral commissions.
There you go.
That's how they
look, that's the name of the game. If you're a content creator and you're doing it full time, you need to support yourself, because God knows Jeff and I couldn't do it here. She can't even support one. He can't even support. There's nothing to support. It's just not realistic, right?
Just
I mean,
fun.
Jeff and I are both professionals. We do really well. And, I mean, you need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to replace what Jeff and I do. And it's just not feasible. But what is feasible is the joy we get when you guys do support the channel and you do, you do engage with the NFTs. We give them away because we want to spread the word about you guys put them on your thing. This is how, we get paid, and fuels our, our soul, because that's the stuff the reason we enjoy doing this is because there's a lot of that. But I'm just saying, for those guys that do that full time, the DAI, the Brad Kimes of the world, Mikkel, these guys that do it all full time, listen, you got to find a way to support yourself, and having sponsors is a really good way. And if Caleb and Brown is a really, helpful to people, then all for it. I'm not against any of that stuff, but you have to, and this is part of what Jeff and I, in the early days, we did have a couple sponsors here and there. You got to disclose it. You got to talk about blah, blah, blah. You got to be upfront about it. But a lot of times you think that just because you're putting them in a video and this and that, some people think, oh, you're getting a lot of money. Not necessarily. So, but you got to pay the bills at the end of the day. I mean, Brad Kimes has XRP Vegas. He's worked really hard for 3 years to produce that. Probably the first year was rough. He probably didn't do well the first year, got better last year. And I think it's going to be a huge XRP Vegas this year, where he's got record number of people coming, and, good for him. He put the hard work in and he deserves it, right? He put it together with a bunch of people, and running a conference like that it takes you all year to do it. And it's a lot of work. Jeff and I saw that firsthand when we were involved with the WI last year out of Australia. The amount of time, effort, and money that goes into it, it's mind-boggling. So to produce those, to make sure the guests are there, to make sure the accommodation, you need a team of people. It's hard to do. So anybody that can pull it off successfully, good for them. They deserve all the credit and everything that comes their way.
Mark Smithson says he charges nothing to hold your assets on his cold wallet. So
yeah, but do we get them? But we get it back? That's the
no promises.
Been okay to me so far. I've had withdrawals, no issues, not financial advice. It's one of my many avenues to find liquid. Coinbase charges about the same when using the app, but the spread, yeah. So there you go. I mean, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say. It's great that you guys have got good experiences. Well said. Thank you, both of you. Yeah, cash velocity is constant, daily, multiple shilling. That's the problem. Yeah, but honestly, you got to understand that when you're a content creator, you have to be able to pay your bills, right? And like I said, I don't have anything against people that put those in there. I mean, we did it early days too. It's, you have to, I mean, thanks to you guys, the expenses for this show. I mean, we've got streaming software, we've got, editing software, we've got, I mean, there's all these things we got to pay for that get covered because of you guys. And that's something that's fantastic. It's been better in previous years because more, anytime crypto's on the rise, we'll see our numbers rise. And as crypto goes down, when it stays a little more stable, we'll see that go down as well. But overall, I would cut these guys some slack because it's rough out there, and you have to find a way to make, to pay the bills. So especially if you're a full-time content creator, like DAI puts out a couple of videos a day, Brad Kimes puts out a couple of video days. You got the research that goes into it. You got to think about what you're going to say. You got to post the videos. And dude, I don't think you guys realize, like, this is fantastic. Jeff and I come out here, we bloviate for an hour and a half, sometimes longer on Saturdays, blah, blah, blah. We talk with you guys, and that's it. We walk away. When you post a video, it is the biggest pain in the ass. If you've never done it before, holy cow. I mean, as it is, just creating a new thumbnail for every show is a pain in the ass. Thanks to Jeff. Jeff does that. Every once in a while, I'll do that. Then there's the sourcing all the content. What are you going to talk about? You have more stuff to talk about than we actually even get to. So there's all that to consider. But those guys that post videos, dude, that's a pain in the ass posting those videos, man. And then, the problem is when we do this live, Jeff, we go a whole hour. When I was doing the videos and you were uploading them and I was uploading them, I would go up and I would screw up and I'd be like, and then I'd start over, and an 8-minute video.
3 hours,
an hour and a half, and I'd write it out. And for some reason, there's something great about the live that just works. Yeah, we screw up. It's part of the show. It's funny. You're not going to have it right 100% of the time, but you feel like when you're sitting there looking at your computer, and guys, give them some credit. You're sitting there talking to your computer. You feel like an idiot. You're like, oh, let's look. And you try to keep the energy up. Check out this story. Now, this is really incredible. You're never going to believe what Ripple just did. So Ripple just, and you're like, oh, I'd rather just come on here and just be transparent and have fun.
Hey,
The
I've
other
got
thing is that when you live stream, you make less revenue. And Jungle Inc. told us early days, guys, do not live stream on the same channel that you post videos to. So our strategy was, I took my old channel, we were posting videos to that one, and then this was our live channel. But it got too tedious for us to do too much. And usually because we have a couple of days between shows, the actual prep work happens over a period of time.
Mr. Connector.
Good for you, man.
It's
3 streams a week for 1.5 years and almost monetized. Well, good. You'll be excited when you finally get monetized, and you'll be really surprised when then the surprise comes in, right? And then you put together a good show, you feel like it was great, and then they demonetize you because what was supposedly fair play. No, there's a song in there that you shouldn't have played, and you're demonetized, and your video shut down, and you had a pretty good showing on that video, and you're done.
That's right.
Or the other thing they do is when we post a show, I'm just inside baseball. Thank you, man. Beautiful. Love that.
Gifted a membership. Nice.
Just gifted a membership. The other thing is that when we post the show, you have to go in, log into YouTube. You have to go find where the video is, and you have to turn monetization on. We forget sometimes. It happens, man. But why don't you just say, because they know that people are going to forget. There's APIs that post it directly to the different channels we go to. But if you forget to log in and click that little toggle button, nothing during the show gets monetized.
Right.
So that's the other big thing. So when you're uploading videos, the same thing, monetization. Then you got to put the right keywords in. You got to research the right keywords. You got to look at your topics. If you don't put those keywords in right, you don't get the traffic. Then you get that that end panel on the video. We don't do any of that crap. Just come on here, start talking, and that's it, Jeff.
And I wrote a song about it.
Well, good.
Short, funny segment to introduce that our next segment is clickbait time.
Clickbait time.
Clickbait. it's the infamous clickbait. I love it, man. Clickbait.
Oh, does it get pulled for copyright? Yes.
Yes.
Often.
All the freaking time. It's horrible, man.
It's amazing. They'll hit something with a copyright, and then you have to go back and delete it. Well, one of our videos, they pulled the video down completely, and I had to delete the section, and then you have to fight for it. Or the best was when I was live streaming that time, and you were traveling, and you called up, and you're like, "Hey, I'm listening. I was listening to you," and you're no longer streaming. Why? Because YouTube rug pulled us, but. We were going, and you're like, the channel was just deleted
in San Diego. I pulled it up. I was having a drink. I'm watching Jeff do the show, and then boom, what happened to my phone? My battery go dead? No. Couldn't find the channel. Channel gone. Didn't exist anymore. Jeff and I were gone for more than 24 hours. Just gone. Like channel shut down. Gone. Sorry, got the note.
Deleted. Yeah.
Your channel's been shut down. Sorry. Oops. And then it was a mistake, and then it kind of came back.
Everyone stepped up, though. It was amazing. How many people stepped up?
All the big,
Mr. Connector, been lurking for years. That's awesome. Finally coming out of the woodwork. I always wonder how many people are lurking in the background or watching after the fact or whatever.
Post your channel so we can go follow it in the put it in there in the
hopefully it'll show up in
there so we can go in there and watch you, man. You need let's get you to 1,000 so that
yeah.
He said he's almost monetized. So, Mr. Connector, throw your YouTube channel in there. I want everybody to go in there. And you don't have to, but let's help out. An OTC family member here. If you're close to it, maybe we can get you over the top and get you monetized. You have to have 1,000.
I think I found you here.
1,000 subscribers to be monetized.
Let's see. So, oh yeah, there it is, Mr. Connector. I'm subscribing right now. Let me put it in.
Put it in the thing.
Let me see. How do we share? Here's Mr. Connector here. There it is. Oh, that's X. Whoops. Got to follow you on X. Following you back on X. I got to go to YouTube and go to. Oh, here we go. I got it.
Mr. Connect.
Mr. Connect.
Connect.
There you go.
I spell that right. Connector. Where is it? Connect.
And then let's see. Share his copy link to profile. Gonna share your X over here. Boom. There you
77.
go.
There you go.
Been
there,
shared.
there it is. I am subscribed. Damn it! Look at that. I got to turn on.
Subscribe.
Gotta turn on the. I have to turn on the bell notifier. That's the other thing that gets
There
you.
we
If
go.
you subscribe, then you got to click it again and go on the bell. Come on. Why don't you just have a button say, "Do you want to be notified?" I mean, who knows to double click that thing?
That's right.
Nobody knows.
When is this one from?
Keep it up, man.
It was the day ago. There
Today,
you go, right here. Oops. What am I on? I still got Caleb and Maestro up on my.
right, let's play a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit of Mr. Connector.
I just got him right here. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, press play, dude. Got the sound in there.
Yeah. Yep. Let me turn up the sound.
Mr. Connector, and we've got big news coming from the Apple ruling on their App Store. This one's from Bankless, how App Store ruling will open the on-chain floodgates. Not enough people are talking about how huge Apple's court loss is for the future of crypto development.
This is an interesting story.
In a Bennett.
Just like us.
What happens when the world's largest tech monopoly
gets
dragged into the courtroom by one of the gaming's most powerful studios and loses? The answer might very well change mobile development forever. After nearly 5 years of legal warfare, yeah, guys, we know all about that
Yeah, we do.
legal warfare, lawfare we call it. Epic Games has forced Apple to rewrite the App Store rulebook. Besides presenting a massive opportunity for crypto. There we go, guys. This moment represents a turning point for the developers.
It's huge,
long constrained by Apple's walled garden. And we've always heard about walled gardens in crypto. Let's open it up. Payment rails, guys. Let's democratize finance. Finally, the freedom to modernize on their own terms. Today, let's
I like it, man.
And see what's going on. Apple's antitrust
that's
reckoning. Back in 2020, Epic Games sued Apple, accusing the tech giant of anti-competitive behavior.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
After it banned Fortnite, Epic's immensely popular multiplayer battle royale game from the App Store. At the heart of the dispute was Apple's policy of mandating all in-app purchases flow through the App Store and be subjected to payments to an egregious 30% fee for Apple.
Oh, I remember all that.
Tell me that's not a monopoly, guys. Thank God they ruled right on this. Epic Games has attempted to circumvent the predatory policy by implementing its own in-game payment rails
through crypto.
Although Apple eventually provided a minor concession by allowing developers to link to alternative payment options, the updated policy still required a 27% revenue share with Apple. Wow. Everything goes through Apple or went through Apple. This is
damn right it is.
And this heavily restricted how payments could be displayed in apps. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Neither side was willing.
Now, what'd you think about that? Being that you're a huge Apple fan. Yeah.
I mean, I'm split on both sides of it. I mean, I think it's too much. I mean, originally Google Play Store, they did the same thing, but they dropped it to 10%. I just think that you built, look, I didn't like the way they restricted, like with Epic Games, what they were doing was they wouldn't let you put an app up there and then pay for it someplace else. Like Epic tried to do that too. But I mean, I think Epic's the only one that stood up to Apple, and this has been a long case, invested a lot of money. And that's why I think it's such, Mr. Connector's talking about this landmark case. But, part of the other thing too is that you built the App Store. The App Store was something that Apple came up with. But should you take 30% of the profits? It seems to be a little bit much, and especially
massive
today. And look, it's just not feasible for a gaming company like Epic that gives away the game for free and lives mostly off of, creation, skins, in-app type of sales, and then you can't do it in-app. So it's just, 10% to me seems a little bit more fair. But there's other ways to maybe monetize as well. But yeah, this 30% seemed to be a bit much because even Google dropped it, which is monumental.
Yeah, we got 80-page rebuke. Apple willfully
yeah.
violated the law. Anti-competitive barriers. That's interesting too. That's how they go after them.
That's the problem too. It's like monopolized. So there's no, but that's where, if you go on the Play Store, I think it's only 10%. We have to look that up, but I know it used to be 30% too, but it's just a little bit much. But there should be other ways to negotiate. Company can't afford to take a 30% hit, Seems to be a bit much, man.
But this went on for a while. Look at this.
Oh, this is a multi-year.
Apple primarily challenged its arbitrary 30% rate. This most recent decision expressly prohibits Apple from imposing commissions on off-app purchases and controlling how developers communicate with their users.
Yeah.
Man.
See, that's where they went off. That's where they made the big mistake. They probably wouldn't have been touched, but and I know this because I was part of another organization that did something very similar, as you could log into the app on there, but you couldn't actually purchase it there. And a lot of companies did this because you can't take a 30% hit. It's just too big. There's not enough to go around when you do something like that. So, it's a lot.
Look at that. Crypto golden age. Sounds familiar.
Oh, come on, guys.
Apple was
hang on a second. Let me make a special announcement here. I logged in, we're 580 subscribers. I just refreshed my page, and there's 580 subscribers. I command the OTC family to go support another OTC member. Look, putting the amount of time in this, of professionally done, well mic'd, well put together, slick production.
That mic is good.
Guys, go subscribe. I want to see this over 600. 20 of you can hit the subscribe button and get Mr. Connector over 600. We can do that here. We should be a lot higher, but come on,
do it.
Let's support a fellow OTC fam member here. It's the least we can do, man. Come on, we help each other attain, goals in life, and
following an X too.
And it's professional as well. Yeah. I'll look up on the X too. Oh, here it is, right here. Is it?
You got it. It's the same.
Yep, I see it. He's got it in his profile there.
There it is, right there. I just put it up.
Then the other thing, Mr. Connector, make sure that you're putting in the keywords. Make sure there's some tools out there that you can put your content in, and it'll tell you what kind of keywords to put. But that's going to be really important when you do these uploads too. It's at the very bottom when you're doing the upload. You want to change it each show, but there are some tools out there that are free that will let you talk about content, and they'll come up with the keywords for you. You could probably even do it with ChatGPT these days. Say, like, I'm doing this for YouTube, I need X amount of keywords. So when we would upload those, that's very important, those keywords on the videos, when you go to upload them as well. So
look at this. Streams live. Oh, that was a live stream right there.
This turns into a how-to on the YouTube. Maybe you guys want to see what that looks like in the. I'm already following Mr. Connector, man. I'm already following. Should give him a follow on X as well, guys. We should all be following each other. There's no reason why we shouldn't. We should be all following each other. Let me go ahead and. It's so weird. I'm always on. Yeah, here we go. So go ahead and give Mr. Connector a follow on X as well. Bammo! There it is. So I'm going to go back and check, guys. I'm checking in on you, see if we can get this subscriber count up.
Right.
Okay, 581. Well, thank you, one person who was smart enough to go give a follow.
A lot of people said they subscribed. Subscribe.
Maybe so, because I don't think it's weird because I just hit
the YouTube thing.
Oh, maybe it was less than 581. I don't remember. Mr. Connector can tell us. Yeah, I see 581 right now. But I thought it was 580 when I logged in. Anyway.
So I'm doing a refresh. But it's YouTube.
See right there, boom. Mr. Connector, great content, plus he's a musician. You see that? There's the love. Crypto G.
Nice.
Crypto G and I bonded up in Atlanta. It was fun. We had a good time. We met in person.
Did you know they have podcasts over here too? I didn't know there was a link for a podcast on your YouTube. Can we not log into our YouTube? Right here. Podcast list.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's good. Ours is up on Google Podcast. I think that's works, Jeff.
Yeah, interesting.
That's the way it works. Anyway, let's jump on.
That's how it works.
Thank you guys for subscribing. Okay, good then. Great. Awesome,
Sweet.
guys.
There you go.
Thanks for jumping in there. Appreciate the good news there. Plus, he's a musician. Good stuff. What do you play? Show your music. All right, let's do some more. Let's do some more here. But I want to get into this story here because if you're somebody like a Coingecko, and I use Coingecko, I like the app a lot. I've been using it for years.
I always have it open.
I always have it open, right? So Coingecko, did you know the blockchain company that created XRP? Sorry, wrong. Is one of the early innovators, founded in 2012. Yeah, the company was, but obviously what XRP predates that. Learn how XRP works, its use cases, technology, and battle against the SEC lawsuit. Read the full guide. They put this clever little graphic with a frog looking at
XRP.
But thank God you're not going to mess with Panos. Panos is coming in. He's going to set the record straight. Everything good except for the fact that Ripple didn't even exist when XRP was created. Why can't most researchers provide the facts that are public? XRPL launched in June of 2012 by 3 individual developers. Ripple was founded in September of 2012, and they are just one project and contributor to the ecosystem. Also, XRP and XRP Ledger's mission isn't just to provide faster and cheaper payment services. It was created as a better alternative to Bitcoin for more efficient transactions and DeFi use cases, empowering individuals and merchants to be their own banks and providing the first decentralized exchange, the ability to create any tokens, stablecoins, real-world assets, the first blockchain to do that. Thanks to Panos. Panos is coming in. He's going to give you a Panos ass kicking.
Tell you how it is.
He's going to give you an ass kicking. Now, I love the fact that I love what they tried to do here. Listen, look, they didn't get it right. Who wrote this article? Zhongyang Chan. I don't know who that is, but he's probably a writer that works over there or a freelancer. He's okay. Well, maybe this is bad. He's Coingecko's head of research. That's not a good thing. You're the head of research. You should be able to research it and at least get that bit of it right. Yo. Good. Yeti. Yeti.
Badass Yeti coffee.
Type in the Yeti.
And by the way, guys, stay tuned because we are rolling out a brand new website coming up soon called
Badassery.
Badassery. It's connecting all the dots between all the badass Yetis and all the badass projects. So we're going to be rolling out Badassery, which is going to be, pretty kick-ass. Going to be rebranding the Discord to Badassery, and we'll roll that out when we do. But it's going to tie in all the projects, the White Tribe, the Blue Tribe, the new upcoming Badass Chimps. So the Badass Chimps will be rolling out to an XRPL near you, which is going to be really cool. We'll tell you more about that when it gets closer. That's exciting. And then on the heels of the Badass Chimps, we're going to have the Badass Yowies. There's some other things that are in the works that we're pretty excited about. And then we also got the Badass Coffee, and wait for some new badass merch. We're excited about the Badassery. Badassery.
Yeah, because there'll be a lot of things connected to Badassery. That's why it started off as the Yetis, but then we Badass Chimps, Badass Yowies. There'll be some other board at Badass things, Badass Coffee. At some point, we'll get to the Badass Whiskey. We're not there yet.
Badass Whiskey.
Badass Whiskey by Badassery, right? Will be the main company. So that's what we're kind of working into. So you guys helped us give some legs to something that we're looking at building over here, which is fantastic. So yeah, you gotta love that. Gotta love that. Well, at least they gave it a shot. Zaman Wallet came out with this, guys, in case you're a developer out there. In case you missed it, there's over 9 hours of hands-on narrated XRPL education, walking you through everything that the XRPL has to offer. So 48 videos later, I don't know how long it takes to go through that, but you'll be an expert on all things XRP, from beginner fundamentals to advanced features. Sweet. And then let's see. So here's the YouTube playlist here. I'm going to go ahead and share that.
9 hours of content. Damn.
That's a lot of content, man. 48 videos. I wonder how much the runtime is
in order too.
But I will put the list in there in case anybody's interested. I'll throw that in there. Brief overview of the ledger, activating existing XRP on a test network, connecting, interacting. So signing a payment transaction, assignment solution, verifying signatures, the whole nasty bit there. The whole nasty bit. Give me 1 second, Jeff, while I step away
Jeff,
from
we're gonna rename our moderators to the Badass Moderators, which would be cool too. All right. Well, while we're doing that, let's just do a quick commercial break because it's about that time. It's on the bottom of the hour. And I don't see a lot of Yetis. So I want to see lots and lots of Yetis. Lots and lots of them. Here we go.
We're the baddest Yeti from the Blue Tribe. Word of the day. Yeti. You got your diamond wallet ready. Why? 'Cause this is gonna be epic. It's time to claim your legendary Blue Tri Yeti of the clan of Spirit Walkers. His name is Fear. Let's go! On the chain, badass yetis, born for battle, made for legend. Claim yours or be forgotten. Badass yetis on the chain.
There you go.
Let's get that badass rigged Yeti wheel spinning. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
That's a badass. Some
He
badass.
is Vigor. Vigor Yeti. Okay, so we've got 18 guys. That's pretty good. It's not bad. So, Jeff, you teased this earlier, but there's a hearing with Scott Bessent and Maxine Waters. As who was it? Was it Warren Davidson said that she's the sweetest lady? They call her Auntie Maxine. He said that she couldn't be sweeter in person, but everybody showboats for the cameras and grandstands and everything else. But he said when he was on the show, he said that she was super sweet, lovely lady, right?
Yep.
And so here she is grilling Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. This guy, Scott Bessent, is just phenomenal. Man, you can't even shake him. If you look at his resume, what this guy's accomplished in his life,
Super impressive.
2.0 Trump is way better than 1.0 Trump.
That's
My
right.
God, he had a bunch of losers in his cabinet. He's got nothing but winners this time around. But check this out. So here's Auntie Maxine grilling Scott Bessent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Bessent, this is the first time we've met. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. We actually met one New Year's Eve in the Bahamas. And I was...
He didn't make an impression.
Why don't I remember that?
Why don't I remember you? No, ma'am. We met before. She's like, I don't remember that. You didn't make a good impression. This is funny. I just love the way this whole thing starts out. And it kind of turns like kind of fun.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Bessent,
Oh my God.
this is the first time we've met. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. We actually met one New Year's Eve in the Bahamas. And I was...
He didn't make an impression.
Why don't I remember that?
Well, you were much better at the electric slide than I was.
Ooh,
And I was with...
the electric slide, dude. This is hilarious.
Oh my God.
Look at the dude back there with the beard. He's laughing his ass off. You were much better at the electric
funny.
slide. What? Maxine was doing some dancing. The electric slide. She's like, woo. But this was like one of the lighter periods before she went into attack mode. Here she goes.
The Prime Minister of the Bahamas yesterday, Prime Minister Davis, who sends his regards.
Well, were you with my husband when he was the ambassador to the Bahamas appointed by Clinton?
So,
Well, you're not going to like this. And so this
Here
is the
we
first. I didn't remember that, but that's odd because you've been at Treasury, and I've sent you 5 letters to ask about what was going on under your leadership and only received a couple of cursory replies from your staff. Why don't you respond?
ma'am?
I guess you don't know why you didn't respond.
Anyway, that's the short clip. I don't know what happened there, ma'am. I was like,
Ma'am.
you just gonna pretend you didn't hear her. Just that
Yep.
she's good at the electric slide. Here's another one. Here's where she digs into Scott
Love
Bessent
it.
a little bit more here. But she's, ma'am. They cut that off because
Love
whole idea of that clip was just talk about, yeah, we had met before.
You know the level, type, or nature of the clearances and security training required for individuals to access the information held in the computers of Treasury, IRS, or CFPB?
Yes, I do, and I think we would have a disagreement over the definition of the word unfettered.
Mr. Secretary, did all the individuals working with Doge who were given access to Treasury and CFPB's computer databases receive all of the required clearances and security training before they were granted access?
Again, they were granted read-only access at Treasury. There were two.
So let me just say,
Doge employees.
please, you can't filibuster here. This is not the filibuster playground. And so what you did was you let these strangers into our Treasury with access to all of the data, all of the personnel information, and you just opened the door. Why'd you do that?
No, ma'am. They were Treasury employees.
Oh, are you saying today in front of this committee that all of them were Treasury employees, that the 25-year-old who's being identified, who worked for Elon Musk, was allowed into the Treasury? Was that person there?
He was a Treasury employee, as was Tom Kraus, the senior person on the Doge team. There were only two people.
There were Doge employees also.
Sorry?
Do you know, were you aware that there were Doge employees coming into our Treasury getting all of our personal information?
Well, ma'am, there is no such thing as a Doge employee. There were Treasury employees.
I tend to disagree with you based on the information I have.
What the hell? He's telling her there were Treasury employees. They were Doge employees. Oh my God.
Do you know the level?
That was it. The clip ended there, but she disagrees with them. I'm like, well, they were Treasury. And I love when they say get access to all our personal information. They don't get access to that. They're just looking at the numbers, the bottom line.
That's it. That's all they need. And there you go. Maxine was involved with endorsing SBF and FTX. Remember, she was blowing them kisses. It was all about bringing, that was their guy. That was their slush fund. Things started drying up for them after that.
They sent the money to Ukraine. Ukraine sent it to FTX. FTX sent it back and funneled it into 90% of the Democrats. But there's 10% of Republicans around the dole as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was just like, let's not talk about that. They didn't talk about how give $1 million to Biden's reelection campaign. Yeah, it was classic. When it's government related, it's not money laundering. It's only money laundering when you do it, not when anybody else does it. What a dingbat. Kelly says, what a ding. That's a great word. You don't hear that word dingbat anymore. Wasn't that like one of those little?
I love dingbat.
Dingbat. It's a great word. People actually voted for this thing. Yeah, she's been there forever. Okay. I'm looking at. He won't honor grade because I don't like standing in lines. Whoa. Hey now. Oh my goodness, man. This is a Polish politician who, this is what he thought of the particular flag. Let's watch this. It's in Polish, but we'll talk through it. He basically goes up to the European Union flag, takes it off, he removes it.
This is being filmed?
This is in Poland.
Okay. What in the world?
He said that Poland will not display this symbol called hostile organization. He wiped his feet on it. He said this is Poland, not Brussels. It's Poland, it's not Brussels. This organization is hostile.
Oh, wow.
So you don't see the part where he burned it. He wiped his feet on it, and I think he took it outside and burned it.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, there he is. Like, he's lighting it on me.
It's crazy.
Lighter fluid.
You're gonna burn that thing. Maybe need to turn the music down.
That knocked fell out. Now it's sitting on the ground outside. possible. I was wondering why he was shedding. Oh, look at that thing burn.
Wow. It's crazy.
Man,
That's quite an act.
I think it singed his eyebrows. I think he was like, it looked like an android. Eyebrows.
He just blew up. Blew up in his face.
Ministerstwo Likwidacji Polskiego
I guess we don't have to understand what he says. It's the actions.
Yeah. I think you don't understand Polish to understand it. He basically said it's this is Poland, not Brussels.
That's right.
So there you go. And thanks. I mean, there's only the two of the countries in the EU that stepped up were Hungary and Poland. That's it. Those are two leaders that actually were like, you know what? We're preserving our culture. We're closing our borders. And sorry if you don't like it, but we're protecting our country. That's the problem with the EU is they're trying to level the playing field. And you had companies like Germany and the UK on the hook for failing countries like, Greece. And I mean, it's just, I honestly don't know if it's going to survive. If more countries step up, I don't see it going the distance, Jeff. I really don't. It's just it's very extremely awkward. And then this
right in the beginning.
Yeah, it's just way awkward.
Yeah.
So here's Byron Donalds bringing the fire. This is an older clip, but it's a good one because he talks about the illegals. He talks a little bit about. I'll just play the clip. Here we go.
City of Chicago spent on illegal immigration.
So now he's talking to the mayors, right? This was the hearing. They brought the mayors in. He's asking them how much Chicago spent on legal immigration.
If you're referring to the 2022 up to 2024 of the buses coming from Texas, roughly the same percentage of the state of Texas, about 1% of our overall budget.
What is that? Because I don't have the city's budget in front of me. Numbers.
It's 1%, and if you want the actual calculation, we can make sure someone.
You're the mayor. You don't have the math in front of you.
It's 1% of the overall budget over the last 4 years.
That's why you're a failing
which
mayor.
is
Mayor
the same
Adams,
number that was sent from us.
New York actually.
He says that's
so great.
I love Byron Donalds. That's why you're a failing mayor. You don't. Okay, so listen, you don't have to be a mathematician to know if your budget is this. You can do the math in your head what 1% of this is. He doesn't know what this is. I'm sure he does. He just doesn't want to say it publicly,
Exactly.
and I guarantee it's more than 1%. But anyway, here we go.
State of Texas.
Illegal immigration.
Number that
How
was
much did
sent
the city
from
of
us
New
from
York
the
actually
state
spend
of
on
Texas.
illegal immigration? Mayor Johnson, I already asked you. You don't have a hard number, and if you don't have a hard number, you're not running your city well. Mayor Adams, how much did the city of New York actually spend on illegal immigration?
6.9 billion of taxpayers.
$6.9 billion of taxpayer money on a problem that was fostered on the American people. Mayor Wu, in the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city of Boston has spent on illegal immigration.
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor Wu?
That is how we keep
Mayor
our city
Wu, do
safe.
you manage
we
your
have
budget
the
or not?
numbers to prove it. I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to the city of Boston,
budget.
just understand.
Your bond rating has nothing to do with the question.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Byron Donalds about to smack
Bond rating is to be paying your bill. I mean, it has. I mean, he's hammering. And Wu, remember Wu? We talked about. She's a lackey of Elizabeth.
Oh, that's right.
She's one of her lackeys. She's like Lauren was her mentor and helped getting her elected. And she's dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, she's answering some other question. I mean, typical politician, but you don't know what your budget is. You don't know how much you spend on legals. You're in a hearing. You're under oath.
That your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens
The city
of
of Boston
the city of
is
Boston.
sick of having
I'm
people
reclaiming my
outside
time.
Boston.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
People
Sick
are
about
sick.
people outside of Boston. Sick of people outside
right.
of Boston.
Yeah.
You're testifying in a Congress and under a hearing. You're under oath, and you're going to sit there and buck the system. I don't know what's going on with the mental illness, but it's like the feelings and the anger. I mean, why is everybody so angry all the time? Is anybody having any fun on that side at all, Jeff? I wonder sometimes.
Not at all.
We can see it. Yeah, the UK has turned into Mecca. Yes, it has. Well, this is what happens when what Elon Musk was warning about is like the low birth rate in the West. You can see what's coming, man. You can predict it. You can almost label it right down to a year.
Yep.
That's kind of how it works. It's not hard to figure out. You don't have to be a genius to understand what's going on there. This guy brings up a great point, Jeff. Listen to this.
The mafia.
The mafia. Well, that too. I mean, it is a big mafioso city there too. But this guy brings up something pretty interesting, and you never hear anything about this.
Trump just gave Western North Carolina $1.4 billion to rebuild homes. Not 1 ounce in news coverage. Biden and the Democrats gave him $750 that they had to apply for.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were turned down. $1.4 billion to rebuild homes in Western North Carolina. That's my president.
That's right.
Trump, 2028, baby. So Trump just...
You gotta love that, man. I mean, you know, it's funny. You did hear a little bit about it, but it wasn't on the mainstream media.
No.
I mean, $750. How many people were saying they couldn't even get $750? Your whole town was washed away.
Washed away, gone.
People dead.
Demolished.
You know, people rotting in buildings.
It's insane.
And you had to go and apply online. You have no internet. And even when Elon Musk brought in the Starlink, there was no electricity to be able to connect to the satellite. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, you can use these things, but there's no electricity. So instead of FEMA going in there and distributing food and stuff, you know who brought food? Outside people. Trump sent, you know, water up and other, you know, came from the private sector. It did not come from the government. Why? It was a red area. This is pathetic. When you don't take care of your citizens, I don't care if it's California. I don't care where it is. It's like you take care of your people, not if I agree with them politically. It's just insane, Jeff.
That's right.
But 1.4 billion, not a word. Nope. Gas prices down. You don't hear gas anymore. Remember they were talking about the egg prices? The egg prices. Never hear about that anymore. You never hear. I mean, all they think about is the tariffs. Now you have China, which put out the post on X 2 days ago saying that they're engaging with the U.S. And Scott Bessent was on one of the talk shows, one of the news programs. And what did he say? He said that they are in conference. They're going to be going to Switzerland this weekend to start negotiations. He said 140%, 125% tariffs is basically an embargo. And it doesn't work for either nation. So, I mean, for China to drop it, I mean, are they that worried? First of all, 80% of China is poverty. The 20% that's middle class, and you got their top 2 or 3%, which are the big ballers. And who wants to buy American goods? It's a rich elite that want to drive a big pickup truck, that want to have a, you know, it's a very small number, but I mean, I think there $148 billion gets imported, and like something like 460 billion gets imported in here in the U.S. of China goods. It's a pretty big deficit, but is China going to all of a sudden even it up? No. But the point is that just even make it so that you can sell the goods, and if people want to buy them, great. If they don't, Catherine McCullen's here. Beautiful. Chip rant. It's not a rant. It's just facts there, Charles. Just getting into Charles. I'm going into it. Don't get me angry. Don't get me started, Jeff. Don't get me started.
It's time for the chip rant. Crypto, politics, XRP, dispelling the FOMO and FUD, setting the record straight. This isn't one of your YouTube fanboys. It's raw, unfiltered badassery. If you're
The best part.
sit down. This is the chip rant. Let's go.
I made one for Jeff. I got to import it. We gotta have one for Jeff. That's fantastic. So look at Jeff. So talking about the media here, think about the legacy. Let's listen to this. This is not surprising to anybody who's watching right now or listening, but it's good to have the facts. But here we go.
How stupid do they think you are? Dr. Phil exposed it in his podcast. He called it, "The legacy media thinks you're stupid." Well, guess what? Now we've got new numbers. Looking at the Media Research Center and what they have found, they found that when you look at the coverage from the legacy media on President Trump, it is 92% negative versus coverage of Joe Biden that was 62% positive. Let's break it down even further. Looking at immigration, that's where the president has his strongest numbers as we look at the first 100 days. Looking at the legacy media spin, it is 93% negative on what the president is doing on immigration. Let's go deeper. Out of 233 minutes of evening news coverage on legacy media, listen to this, only 3.5 minutes lets viewers know how much the president is doing on the border. Out of 233 minutes, only 3.5 minutes in terms of what the president's doing at the border. And it's not just immigration. Looking at Doge, the Media Research Center have found 97% of negative spin on cutting waste, fraud, and abuse out of our government. That is.
Let that sink in. Why are you? It's amazing that Trump is got these guys opposing cutting waste. Nobody would have envisioned this 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 20 years ago. 20 years from now, the Republicans are going to find really innovative ways to cut a lot of garbage and waste, fraud, and abuse. And you know who's going to be angry about it? The Democrats. And they're going to fight. You know what else they're going to do? Is they're going to fight to keep illegals in the country, but they're not going to help their fellow countrymen in North Carolina. They got wiped out. They're not going to help folks in Hawaii who got their town completely devastated and burned. No. We could fight for the illegal. You just can't make this up. It's beyond parody at this point. Like, guys, this isn't a good look.
It's your money no matter what side of the aisle you're on. When it comes to tariffs, they found 93% negative spin. So here's my question. Do you trust legacy media, number one? And number two, does the legacy media affect how you feel and what you know about what's happening in our country, no matter what side of the aisle you're on?
Oh, well said. Yeah. Hey. Yetis. Badass Yetis. Look at this. I think you'll find this one funny, Jeff. Listen to this.
In Trump's America, and so here's an accurate stand-up routine on Kamala Harris. We've been waiting for this.
I think it would have been cool if she won for diversity, right? This country was built on being a melting pot. I could take a step back and go, wow, historically, pretty amazing having the very first retarded hyena in the Oval Office. She's the body language of a meth addict. She does that. Like, nobody can take your power away. I was like, bitch, you lost. That's what that is. We literally took your power away. Nobody can take it. I wish she won to see how she would do her different accents at the UN. That is every country in the world. Her head would have exploded. Like, okay, we're gonna build back better. In France, it's France, bonjour, c'est un petit désert de France. Germany, yes, hello, building back better, yes. That's in Ireland, diddly die, this good crock. They said, would you do one thing differently than Joe Biden? She's like, I can't. What? You could have been like, I'm not gonna die. I'll stay alive. I'm not gonna sniff kids, fall upstairs, off bikes. I'll stay seated. And then they brought in Tim Walz, the secret weapon.
Oh my God.
Whoopsie daisy. They brought him in, did you know, to appeal to straight white men? They're like, we need somebody to get that masculine, toxic, resting January 6th face vote. And they're like, bring out Tim. He's like, you get a tampon, only the guys. You get a tampon. They're like, where's that Jew, Shapiro guy? Did we get the Jew back in here?
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
Oh my God.
And you know why they couldn't, and honestly,
Oh my
quite
God.
honestly, Shapiro, if they got Shapiro actually
brutal.
He
Yep.
comes across, he's well spoken, but they couldn't. You know why, Jeff? Because he supported Israel, and you just can't have. He did not support, the Gaza argument, and they're like, nope, we can't have that. Again, another issue they're on the wrong side of, as usual. It's like,
Everything, every side of everything. Amazing.
yeah. So let's talk about what's happening right now, which is the Yeti draw. We got 19. We're gonna get ready to draw, guys. Get ready to draw. Do you want to play that one more time, Jeff?
I do.
Play it again. Play it again, guys. And while we're doing this, I want you guys to put in Yeti. I want you to get your Yaman wallet ready. And I want you to be ready with you're going to need your handle for X as well. Those are the three things we're going to need. I'm here. I'm getting my wallet. When you win, I got 20. So go ahead and play that, guys. Type in Yeti one last time. Gary, type. Go ahead, Jeff, and play the awesome promo.
Going the wrong way. Here we go.
We're the baddest Yeti from the Blue Tribe. Word of the day. Yeti. You got your diamond wallet ready. Why? 'Cause this is gonna be epic. It's time to claim your legendary blue tri-Yeti of the clan of spirit walkers. His name is fear. Let's go! Chain, badass yetis, born for battle, made for legend. Claim yours or be forgotten. Badass yetis on the chain.
Go. The Leafs are up. The
On
Leafs
the
could take
chain.
a 2-0 lead here. Damn. I don't know, man. Toronto's kind of cursed. I don't know.
Badass Yetis on the chain.
Again, 2
Go.
games is to come back from. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hit the spinner. You got 23 in there. Here, not on X. That's okay if you're not on X.
Leafs.
That's cool.
Said go Leafs. What?
Leafs. That's okay.
Got the
All right,
Panthers. Panthers are
Ready,
down
guys?
1.
Good. Let's see who's gonna win the awesome Blue Tribe. Tick 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 tick.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes. Who is it? And boom, it's Lethal. 337. Lethal 337.
Lethal here?
I'd ask you. I don't know. Lethal's here. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, man. There it is. Winner, Lethal. Bad. I like that. He put the he's got the XRP Cafe logo on the Badass Yetis cup. Very
Rigged.
clever.
Rigged.
It's only rigged if
rigged
you
Yeti.
then it's like this is not rigged. Then it's like the way it's
Lethal's here.
Lethal's here,
Uh-oh.
right? Lethal. Get your X
You know what?
handle, your Zaman wallet.
Get your Zaman wallet ready.
Lethal, congratulations.
Does anybody remember what his name was?
Lethal, if you have an X handle, we're going to want that along with your Zaman wallet, guys. And give us a heads up if you do see that, because again, it doesn't post in here.
Zaman wallet ready.
Zaman wallet. Get your Zaman wallet. There it is. The winner. And still heavyweight champion. Boom.
Of the world.
Look
Look at that. Look how fast that was. Bam. It's already there. View on YouTube. And I got to log into YouTube to grab it. So hang on a minute.
All right. Go ahead and do that. While you're doing that, Jeff, I'm going to play this one last clip and we're going to get out of here. But this, you want to see what's happening right now, Jeff?
What the hell's happening right now? Fine, I'll spell it out for you. It's 2025, and instead of Grandpa Bedpan drooling on the nuclear codes, you got Donald fucking Trump back behind the Resolute desk, pen in one hand, tariffs in the other, and he's raising fucking hell. The border's locked down, reinforced with razor wire and tanks, cartel scouts getting lit up like Christmas trees, ICE is back. You're paying $2 a gallon because we're flooding the market with American oil while those climate cultists cry in their oat milk. People can finally afford to buy eggs again. No proxy wars, no blank checks for Nazi cokeheads. Putin checked, Xi checked.
Yay.
NATO, free rides over, pay up or shut up. At home, job surging, factories humming, middle class making a comeback like it's 1955. This ain't the Trump you remember. This is Trump 2.0, and he's running out of fucks to give. 100 days in, and the deep state's already shitting bricks. They stole it in 2020, but we got it back. So now we're playing for keeps. Trump's back in charge, and America's getting rebuilt, with or without you.
That's awesome. That's another great, phenomenal. Those triff.
Wrong. Let me try to pull that again. Hang on a second.
Yeti.
I'm on the wrong one.
Justin, I think you showed up late. I think it was after that. I'm gonna see you crying in their oat milk. That was great. Crying in their oat milk. Yeah, this Trump 2.0 has 0 S to give. I love that. God bless him.
Here it goes. Get ready. Get your Zaman wallet ready.
Almond wallet. Ready. Yeah.
Done.
Follow.
Transfer submitted. Verifying. And it's done. That's it.
That's it, guys.
Successfully transferred.
Another Yeti living out there. He found a home. It's none other than Lethal 337. Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Very cool. Very cool.
Congratulations.
All right, peeps. That's all we have. And that's all we got tonight, guys. So thank you for showing up. Spread the love. We'll be back on Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. We'll be back on Saturday, Jeff.
Back on Wednesday.
We'll be back next Wednesday for sure. For sure. But we will be back on Saturday morning. So let's get ready to do that. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
You know that thing. You know where we'll be.
Know the thing. All right. That's all I know. We are out of here. See you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. Oh.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.